So wherever I am and there are paintings or pictures, whether it be a gallery or a museum or a person's home, I don't just look at the pictures, I look at how the pictures are arranged. Because that can really make a difference in the presentation overall and your focus. So there's an art, obviously, to creating the picture, whether it be a photograph or a painting. But there's also an art to hanging the paintings in such a way as it actually directs the viewer's eye to where you want it to go. So you have a focal point. You have a main piece that stands out, and then the other pieces kind of support it. So sometimes hanging a painting, or hanging even a grouping of paintings, even if they're just family pictures, can be challenging. Because if they're not hung correctly, your eye actually can be distracted to what's around the picture instead of the picture itself. Let me illustrate. So the key to hanging pictures is not to just put them on the wall randomly and haphazardly, as sometimes they look like they are, but it is to actually arrange them in such a way as the whole is also as pleasing as the individual part. To do that, you have to focus not on the painting itself or the picture or the object or the positive image. The key is the negative space, the space around it. For example, we have a painting here. This is the frame. All right. We have a grouping of paintings. And there's something in it. And what we want to do then is hang some other ones. So then we have a long one here, and it's got a mat on it. And then we have a little one here, and it's kind of got a gilded frame on it. And then we have another square one here, and we put it there. And then we have one over here, and it's kind of long, and we're going to put it right here. Okay. Maybe we'll make this one a little shorter, so it's like here. So as you can see, there's a group here, and these two are kind of random because we have all of this space right here. Here we have hardly any space, and here we have a little bit more space. And so where does your eye go? Well, it probably goes to this large grouping, but then it might come over here or even here, because actually this space competes with the painting itself. And you feel like something's missing maybe. Well, why is that there? And so that's how sometimes paintings or images are hung in a grouping. How can we make it better? Well, first let's find the focal point. So we've got a focal point here, and that's going to be this painting here. And we want to give sufficient but equal space around the painting. Since that's going to be our focal point and that's going to be our anchor, we want these other paintings to kind of satellite around it. Now this one is actually a little bit bigger than that. So how are we going to do it? Well, we might take that big one and we just might move it down here. Okay? We don't have a problem yet because we only have these two that we're working with. So now we don't have that one there. We just have those two. So now what do we do? Well, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the next piece that we put here is going to have equal space between the paintings. So it's going to be here. Maybe we'll put this long one here, and we put it right there. So we line up this side with it, and And there we have equal space here, equal space here. And so we have a nice negative space to balance it. It doesn't matter that this painting edge comes out farther. We want to focus on the center. So now we're left with these two. Well, we kind of want it to look balanced. If we just put it all, if we put this one down here, maybe this one up here, it might look a little odd. So how can we balance it? Well, we have some weight, so to speak, over here. So let's put some weight over here. So then we're going to keep this the same width apart as well. And it's going to also be on the same plane as the bottom. And so there, we're going to put it right here. And now we have this balanced grouping. And this is the only one that's kind of hanging out here that's a little off. So we could put it a number of places. Well, we could put it up here. But that looks a little odd. Or we could put it over here, but then it's going to be maybe a little weighted that way. If we put it here, a little heavy that way. So I would say it would be best, we certainly don't want to put it over here, because that wouldn't make any sense at all. It's possible that we could put it up top, but then we're going to lose, if this is our line of vision, then that's going to be way too high. So the best place really for us to hang this one is probably going to be right here. See? And now we have a little grouping and we have them balanced. We could also move this one over to here. And that actually would make a better grouping, wouldn't it? So if we move that one down there, now we have a nice grouping of the pieces. I don't know if we have a little one. I think we did have a little one in, but it would probably fit right there. And that would balance it out really nice. So the entire thing as a whole is pleasing. We have a focal point. We have the other paintings around it or pictures around it to support it. And so as a group, it makes sense. And that's the key to hanging a painting. There's some thought that has to go into it, and there's some visual ability to look and balance space. But if there's anything, the key is to keep the negative spaces between the pictures equidistant and try to balance the weight, so to speak, of the pictures around your focal point.